Well, Wayne, the international break's normally a bit more of a quiet period, but it's been a bit of a whirlwind, I imagine, for you. Firstly, tell us about how the club kind of asked you to take over at the moment.
Yeah, it's been busy to say the least. Obviously, we had the news with regarding the mat on the Sunday, and then the Monday it was kind of some contact from Rob Scott at the club and sort of saying, would myself, Dan, and Scott be happy to fill in the interim until a replacement was found.
And you're a guy that really steps up to the plate throughout the week, throughout the season. I imagine you're just ready to get stuck into it all anyway.
Uh, yeah, I had a few days of disappointment, if I'll be totally honest about it. Matt, first and foremost, is a friend, so that was something that I sort of had to get over and bury. And then obviously you look at the players and the club, and you're employed, you've got a job to do, so it's head down and do the most professional job you can do.
We're a part of the players' chats and the staff chats. You were pretty much straight stuck into those, trying to get things organised, and I imagine just get things ready for a big game on Friday.
Yeah, I think in those situations, you sort of got to grasp the bull by the horns, and people will always look for gaps and there'll be cracks and stuff. So between myself, Dan and Scott, we sort of realised pretty quick that we needed to get some organisation in place. Not that it wasn't in place previously, but just with Matt not being around to organise it, we'd have to pick that up. So we got that in place pretty quick. We got schedules out, we got training plans out. One, just for peace of mind for the chairman and people at the club, and two, for the players, just to make sure that they felt that they were going to get the most professional preparation leading into a big game.
I've said it already, you're a grafter kind of by personality type, but obviously the member of staff down as well, it's probably been even harder, but have you quite enjoyed getting stuck into it all?
Yeah, it's been great. All the staff around the training ground have been all hands on deck. Everyone from Martin and Russ, Paula, the cleaners, everyone's sort of mucked in. Out on the pitch, obviously myself, Scott and Dan are sort of scrambling at times a little bit between sessions. We've got a lot of information and support we want to give the players, and sometimes that's been hard to fill the gaps. But the players have been brilliant. They listen, they help out themselves, they've bought into most things, and that's all you can ask for.
I was going to say sometimes there's a bit of a down at the stadium or the training ground when a manager's dismissed, and obviously people disappointed to see Matt go, but you managed to really keep the mood positive this week, haven't you?
Yeah, again, it was something that we made a conscious decision that we would try to do. Is the first thing you can affect with anyone, I suppose, in those circumstances, their mindset. So we had a meeting on the Sunday, and we just sort of outlined that everyone was probably feeling the exact same, probably no one more so than myself, Dan and Scott. So we made a conscious decision that we would try and outline to the players that we can't tell you how to feel, but we certainly can give you permission to be happy and enjoy yourselves and get a smile on your face, because ultimately they're doing a job they should love doing, as are we. And yeah, that was a conscious decision we made in the meeting.
And something that's kind of fitting with that philosophy has been mentioned about how you just want to get the lads believing in themselves. It's not like they've lost belief, they've had great performances this season, but you've really tried to reinstill that in them, haven't you?
Every team that's come to New York Stadium, bar none, will tell you that it's a tough place to come. So it's not me trying to get them believing, it's me just reminding them that they've actually done a really good job in the home performances, and then it's finding a way to transfer that away from home. So it was just reminding them as such, and we'll continue to do that into tomorrow.
And in terms of a timeline, have you got anything vague, or does it just keep going until you're told otherwise?
No, as far as I know, there's obviously been lots of names banded around, lots of people are interested in the job. I can't worry about that. I've got enough going on here just to get my head down and make sure this place runs as it should run.
You've mentioned off camera how full on the days have been. We spoke on camera how full on they've been, but have you kind of enjoyed it as well, the challenge of it all?
Yeah, it is. It's selfishly, it's a fantastic learning experience for myself. You can go on courses and you can do lots of different things, but actually there's no substitute for actually doing the job. So that's been a really good learning experience. Albeit pretty tiring and stressful, but yeah, it's been enjoyable. Myself, Dan and Scott are all embracing the experience. Obviously the circumstances we wish it was under was different, but we'll make the best of it and try and make it good.
I know you've kind of lent on a group of senior players within the dressing room throughout the season anyway. Have they kind of been on hand to help out as well?
Yeah, all the players have been fantastic, but the senior lads, so you got Mozza, you got Peltz, you got Sam Clucas, you got Grant Hall, you got Jordan Hugo. They've had fantastic careers. They know what good looks like, they know what the standards need to be looked like. I'm very conscious that myself, Dan and Scott, there's only 3 of us and probably 20 odd players, that we can't manage every player in the dressing room all of the time. So those guys have really stepped up and they've offered to lend a hand and just make sure that things are running as they feel it should be as well.
I'm sure Millers fans will forgive you for not being entirely across the injury situation at the moment, such has been the hectic kind of couple of weeks you've had. But are you able to give us an update on the three lads that came off at Watford?
Yeah, sure. Again, so the sports science and medical staff have sort of given all the information. How much of it I remember at the minute, I'll try. As far as I know, it's Sam Clucas is probably looking like early to mid-December. So 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks from when the injury actually happened. Cafu has had a scan today, so we're waiting to hear back from that. But again, we're hopeful the timeline's similar. Shane Ferguson's been back on the pitch. He's been out running, so we'll start to build him up, looking towards December into the new year. Obviously, you know about Cameron and Tyler with their situation being sort of January, February time. Andre, unfortunately, a little bit longer, probably looking until next season for him.
And two of the lads that were in, I think Shane was one of them as well, but while the international break was ongoing, Jamie Lindsay and Grant Hall both.
Yeah, brilliant. It was brilliant to have them back, and fair play to those guys, and again some of the staff, because whilst everyone else was having a bit of downtime, those guys were in working. They'd had a bit of training before the international break, and they got themselves in for a few days during that international break, and they worked hard, and that's put them in a good place, and hopefully building towards Friday, they've given themselves a great chance to be involved.
Always great to see the lads go out on international duty. Dexter Limbakisa, Victor Johansson and Kieran McGuckin, all been involved in some capacity, but I suppose the key question for Millers fans is, have they all come back okay, or are they set to?
Yeah, well, Vic is back in the country. Dexter's not back yet. He was due back, I believe it's either early hours of this morning or no, actually it was last night he played, so it's the early hours of tomorrow morning. He'll be back in for us. But they managed to win. I think he played the 90 minutes of that game as well, and they managed to turn the result round from the first one. So we'll be glad to see Dexter back and have him involved on Friday.
And then looking forward to Friday, as far as games go to be in charge of, there's not really any more mouthwater now. The Leeds United on Sky on a Friday night.
Yeah, a big game, like you say. It's a sellout. It's a Yorkshire derby. It's live on the TV, and it's a Friday night, and it's going to be under the lights. So that there's exactly what every football player and anyone that's involved in football wants to be involved in. So I'm no different from that. I'm looking forward to it. We've worked hard this week. We've given the players the best prep we can possibly give them, based on where we're at with stuff. And yeah, all we can do now is look forward to it.
I suppose that's it, isn't it? Like you say, you've worked really hard behind the scenes. It'd be nice to go and see what that looks like out on the pitch.
Yeah. So today for me was sort of, in my mind, was a big day. We had the match prep day. Obviously Sunday was sort of getting back to stuff. Today was the big day for match prep. Tomorrow will be a light and bright day for the players. So yeah, it'll be a case of get them to Friday and get them with a smile on their face, feeling good, lots of energy in their legs, and go and put on another good solid home performance.
Is it a case of just tweaking the messaging? Is it a case of keeping the messaging the same? Kind of what might change before Friday?
Not a huge lot. I don't think much needs to change in our home performances. So a lot of the stuff is not giving the players anything different and new. It's just remind them that you're more than capable. You just need to be what you have been, and we'll be okay at home.
And in terms of sold out crowd, it'd be good to try and get the fans on side early. That bright start last time we were at home as well, at the early goal after 3 minutes, I think it was. If you can do that, it's really going to be played in for an excellent atmosphere.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hope it doesn't take an early goal I hope we do get one, but I hope it doesn't take an early goal for the fans to get on board. Hopefully the fans will appreciate the situation that we find ourselves in. And as long as the players turn up, roll their sleeves up, they work hard, they compete, and they're nice and positive in their play, and hopefully the fans will get behind us, and if they get behind us, then that'll build momentum on the pitch, I'm sure of it.
And I can attest to kind of how everyone's got stuck in. From what I've seen up here, you've had John Brecken around the place, Rob Scott's been up here. You mentioned already it's been a big team effort of mucking in, and the fans are just a part of that as well, aren't they?
Everyone's got to play their part. The fans, we just need you to get behind the team and just make sure that you give us a boost on Friday night.
And like I said, because it's at home, there's no reason for the lads not to be believing in their own abilities at the moment.
No, like you've been round today, so you feel the vibe on it. I think the players are looking forward to it. We've had Leicester here, we've had Norwich here, and we've had some of the big teams that have come here, and none of them have had a comfortable day, and I expect Leeds will be the same. And
in terms of your own personal development, you mentioned what a great experience it is to be kind of leading the operation up here. Leading a game against Leeds United in the Championship is another opportunity to show what you can do. It'd be nice to go and get a win or some result.
Yeah, the result's the most important thing. If we get a result, I'm not sure 100% it'll be down to what I've done or what Dan or Scott's done. It'll be down to the players being themselves, and all the staff that have helped out. So yeah, I'll be the one that'll probably be heading it up. If we win, great. If we don't win, I'll be the one that'll be taking the pelters for it. But the reality is, it's always the players on the pitch. They're the ones that go and put themselves out there, and they know that, and they're prepared to do it.
Have you got many family coming up to see this one any more than normal?
Yeah, no, my wife and 2 children are coming up. They're going to come up and watch the game, and I've got my best friend coming down from Middlesbrough. So, yeah, we'll have a bit of family support there as well.
Yeah. So Jamie, it's been a busy couple of weeks building up to this game against Leeds United. For yourself personally, it must have been nice to get even closer to that first start. Just describe what you've been up to for the last 2 weeks.
Well, since the Watford game, I've been in nearly every day. I was in international break, try to get fit, and then I've had a week's training here with the team. So I feel like I'm getting closer to like being at a long time, or since pre-season. Really, I had to build fitness up. I couldn't just go straight back into it. So probably been a good time international break for me personally to build up fitness and get used to training again, really. Hopefully now I can, I've had a good few weeks on the grass, and hopefully now I can be back involved and hopefully build up fitness again and be back playing.
Has that made you even, I mean, you're a motivated individual anyway, but has that made you even more motivated to get back out there?
You just miss it. It's like, I don't know, it's like a bug. You wake up, and especially day to day I found it tough, like even being in the physio room and the lads are at training, but it's probably Saturday the most when you wake up on Saturday and you think, oh, I've not got a game today, I'm going to got to bouncy castles with the kids, and no, it's a bad thing, but obviously I would rather be playing, do you know what I mean? It's what I've always done, it's what I want to do, so it's been really hard, and it makes you appreciate when you're fit to make the most of it, because obviously when you're not, then you've not got that option.
Obviously the sort of elephant in the room is that there has been a change of management since that Watford game. Just speaking about what it's been like in the interim period with Wayne and Dan, we've been down today. It seems like there's still a positive mood in camp. And what have your thoughts of the sessions that they put on?
Yeah, it's been pretty similar to be fair. Obviously Wayne and Dan were here with the gaffer, so they've been really good. They've been really professional, to be fair, and the lads are trying to take on the information that they're giving us, try and put it into a game and try and kick on, really.
And has that sort of been the mentality amongst the whole group? Just sort of like, you know, it's happened now, we draw a line under it, and it's I suppose it's almost about impressing who comes in next.
Well, it's football, and it changes pretty quick, as you've seen. So as the lads, we've got a responsibility. It's the lads that go on the pitch at the end of the day, and we need to put it right, because none of the lads want to be in the bottom three, or do you know what I mean? It doesn't help anybody. So at the end of the day, it's kind of on the lads, and we need to pull through and get us out of there.